Hi. Hi.
Maybe there's an option to slide to the right, and the chat box is somewhere to the right. I've seen something like that with some apps, so you can just slide and see the chat box. But I don't know if this one is.
So what I would like to say here is that I met Cristiana in the Pranic World Festival in Italy, and we share the stage. She was doing also her workshops and her talks, and it was very interesting. And then she invited me and said, Gaston, let's do something together. And she invited me to participate in the summit, Pranic Summit.
Pranic Consciousness Summit. It's the Pranic Consciousness Summit. Yes, it's an online platform where we had this beautiful interview with Gaston, with other 20 specialists in pranic nourishment, emotional healing, spiritual science, and so on. We have beautiful guests there every week almost, with online interviews that you can watch from the comfort of your home. Yes.
Great. So perhaps you can share with us later on the link so everybody can have it if they would like. Or you can put it now, so it is already in the chat. Then everybody can click and.
Yes, you have the link in your chat. There it is. So this is where you can find the Pranic Consciousness Summit. Beautiful people from all over the world, paradigm shifters and wonderful healers that you can listen to and watch and find out about their fabulous lives, among which myself and Gaston as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
I was glad to have this beautiful interview with you.
Thank you. Thank you. And from this interview came this idea to share with people. If you have some questions, you can write the questions here about your pranic life, or if you would like, if you have something special that you would like to share with us or to ask with us about the emotions. We are going to go through different topics, but if you have something, you can write and we can address directly to that. And yes, I would like, give me 1 second. I would like to introduce you also someone else. You can share something in between.
Yes. I suggest to you the way we're gonna do this tonight. We'll have some presentations in the beginning. Gaston and I will share our experiences and what we learned and what we practiced, because we are both therapists and public speakers in the field of emotional healing and pranic healing. So we'll share a little about how we work and what we experienced so far in terms of emotional healing, and then you can prepare some questions. So if you have any questions about emotional healing, some case studies, some particular situations that you would like to ask about, just prepare your questions, and towards the end of the workshop, so after about 1 hour, we can share some questions and you will be answered directly, and this will go on for 1.5 hours, the whole webinar. So there's plenty of time to chat with us, and also towards the end we'll do some toning, some healing and some toning that Gaston is going to share with us, and maybe I'll share some of my healing with the light language that I do. So it's going to be a beautiful gift at the end. So stay tuned.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Gaston.
Thank you. And I would like to share with you, I have here my daughter. And she said, Daddy, I want to talk also with your people. And, well, she can present herself.
Hello, my name is Paloma. I'm the daughter of Gaston. I am 11 years old, and I'm very happy that you are talking about emotions with my
daddy. Paloma, she is starting a YouTube channel in Spanish and German, not English at the moment. So when we can do it in English, we can share with you also. But I'm so happy because everything that I'm going to talk with you, to share with you tonight, I am sharing with Paloma. You know, even in Spanish. Everything I'm sharing with her, and she's very happy, and she's doing a lot of development in the relationship with his friends in the school, and it's very important that we as fathers also and mothers support our child in all this kind of development. It's not only with us, so we can, if you are a father or mother also, we can have some question to discuss something how we do it with them. Okay.
Yes, it's
For being with me.
I also feel to add that Paloma is a beautiful light worker too, and we can already see, as I'm a seer, we can already see how much light she brings in the events she's joining, and I'm honored really to be a co-worker with you tonight. So nice to see you.
Yeah. I am very happy. Paloma, she's also open, and she feels a lot, and she shares from the heart. And I think she started just one thing more. It's very important to see that she started doing this because she told me, Daddy, thank you very much that you gave me the possibility and you asked with patience about what I'm feeling inside of myself. Because I had a lot of information, but I didn't trust myself to share with everybody. But as you are asking and you are interested in that, and you keep going and you keep going, she started to channeling also. So it's very, very important that we as fathers and mothers are very, very open and support our child. It is like this, Paloma? Yes.
Well,
She's learning English, but she's working a lot with yes. So thank you. Thank you. I am very happy, as daddy also.
What I also feel to add, while you hook yourself in, what I also feel to add about adolescents and children especially, is that it's very important that we stay open to their visions and their intuitive sharing. So there's a lot of children now that have a very strong, and young people who have a very strong emotional sensitivity and very strong intuition. And as parents or as friends or as relatives, it's very important that we stay open to their messages, and that we actually encourage them to speak out and to speak their truth and to tell us what they are intuitively seeing or hearing or perceiving in whatever way they are doing this, because this helps them open emotionally, and this helps them also open intuitively. So if your children or young friends come to you and say, well, I'm seeing these light beings, or I'm having these dreams, or I'm having these intuitions or voices, it's important that we stay open and that we never say, oh, this is not true, or
Yes.
this is not possible, so that they don't shut down emotionally, or they don't shut down their visions and their intuition. Yes.
Yes. And also add to be open with the school, with the education system, because we think that the people are not open for all of this. And Paloma started the secondary school, the high school, and I met her teacher, and I had luck. He's an open person, and I was talking about all the things and how we can support in the school all this process. And he's happy to prepare something. And in the primary grades, I was also sharing tools how they can work with emotions, how they can deal with emotions, how they can talk and share and express what is important for them with the kids, and it was with 9. And it was great. The kids are very open, and they were silent and very happy through games to learn about themselves. So we don't have to estimate, oh, they're kids, they don't understand. No, they're persons, humans, the same as us. They have the same fears, and all the things that we have, they had. And I used to do also in the sessions, the healing for our inner child also. It's very beautiful if we do it with our kids, you know, together. If we're open and say, well, although I am your father or your mother, I have this fear and this fear and this fear. So we share fears, we share things together. Perhaps different things, but the sensation, you know. So,
Yes, and
yes, go ahead, please.
and it's so amazing to see how deep and profound and vast their knowledge is. You know, we often because by working with kids in schools, I have created a program called Energy in Harmony. You know, to help children at school develop their intuitive side and also have a better nutrition, because it is important to be healthy and happy in our food intake, so that we develop better intuition. And by working with children in schools and also in private sessions in therapy, in the therapy that I'm doing, I see how vast they are. You know, we look at them, some people, parents, look at them as little beings, you know, not knowing so much. They consider them unexperienced, but what they really are is that they are vast, intuitive beings, strong masters, you know, powerful light workers that come here on earth to teach us, you know. It's not much that we can teach them, maybe some adjusting to the physical world, but while we stay open, they can teach us very, very much about spiritual life and intuition, and how to love each other, and how to stay open and honest and clear in our lives. So that's beautiful to witness.
And if you would like, just in order to start to our work with the emotions and give 2 minutes more, I have a small video about the Detox 3. This is the program that I am working also with kids, and that I would like to share here, and then we can start talking. If there is some questions, we can do it. Let's see if I can put it here, and you can tell me if Okay. So, well, this is the explanation. I tried to put what happened in my life in this video, and just to explain how I started everything. And for me was that I reached a point in my life that I couldn't escape anymore for the emotions. The life made to me like end point and say, Gaston, you have to take care of your emotions. And this is why I started to be very angry, and I started to be very frustrated, and I couldn't resolve the things outside. And I had problem with everybody, and I had problem with life and whatever. And I got the opportunity to start to pay attention in myself, and that is why I put, in order to work in the emotions, we have to go in our cocoon, just to go inside, because outside you cannot change anything. At least I tried and I couldn't. So when I got this opportunity to feel my emotions in a conscious way, just first of all take the responsibility of my feelings, what I feel in my body. They say, okay, if it's here, if I'm feeling here, I need to be aware of that. So I started to give more inner space in all the things, and instead of going to parties and to get entertained and distracted, or taking or drinking or eating or whatever, taking pills. So it was a process that it wasn't quick, it wasn't fun, it was a lot of pain inside, but pain with the pleasure of having the control of this. I take the decision and I go inside, and this was for me the key. Although it wasn't feeling good the whole process, I was happy deciding, yes, I'm not a victim anymore, and I am active, and I decide to feel the emotions. And very briefly, how it works, how I do the sessions when I work with people in the workshops. The technique is not so complicated. It's just sitting and being aware and allowing that the emotions come to us, just whatever it is. If you feel frustrated, and we watch where activated, where is in our body, where it's located. Okay, when the people say, I feel sad, or I feel loneliness, or I feel whatever you feel, you get a manifestation on your physical body. This is very important. If you don't have any physical manifestation, you don't realize that you have this emotion or these feelings. So this is the key, just feel our body. We have a lot of programming in our unconscious that we cannot see, and we cannot repair, but we can feel it. And we start feeling with consciousness. And for example, they start to make pressure here, and we breathe, and we connect, and we stay there, allowing each emotion to take place. That's all. And we breathe. When we do this, we don't do it with judgment. Oh, I shouldn't feel this. I shouldn't do that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter also from where it's coming from. We don't have to put too much energy on thinking, oh, this is happened when I was a child because my family, my parents, my school, my neighbor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter from where it's coming from. If you feel it right now, it is here. And this is a frequency that wants to be incorporated, integrated in our system. That is why I call it the importance of the power of integration. When we start to do this frequency that at the beginning it doesn't feel good, then come in and integrate. It's like a puzzle, you know? You are getting wider and wider and wider. Your consciousness is expanding. And well, that is the main thing, how we organize the whole thing. Some people ask me, Gaston, if we feel the pain, you are like a masochist. And I say, you are a masochist, or we are a masochist when we feel the pain unconscious, because the pain repeats itself in different moments during all life until we get it, the information, and we feel it with consciousness. We feel it, we give our body to have these sensations. And although if it is feeling like you are not going to get any air anymore and you cannot breathe anymore, allow this feeling and keep breathing. You can do both at the same time. The sensation is like someone is strangulating you, for example. You can keep breathing. And there is no hand doing that, but this is the inner sensation. Or if you feel that your heart is broken and something is happening here, you know, it's the same thing. Just feel it with consciousness. Each emotion, each vibration that you feel with consciousness, integrate itself in your system and is not happening anymore in your whole life, in the whole future, because you are conscious. And the next time that the same situation happens in your life, you meet someone and abandons you, or you feel alone, it's going to activate it, but less. It's not going to destabilize, bring you out of balance anymore. So it is a very important thing to practice and to take care of. The other question that I used to get always when I'm sharing this is that the people say, well, Gaston, this is not bad energy. I don't want to have bad energy. I would like to take it out. How can I clean myself from this bad energy? And if you keep in the consciousness level with good energy or bad energy, you're going to fight the whole day long. And you're going to try to block and to protect yourself. For me, it's an invitation to expand to a wider consciousness, a bigger consciousness. And on a new consciousness level, there is no more positive energy and bad energy. And there is a very, very simple example that I would like to share with you that you can realize. Everybody knows the atom construction. You know, atom, you have a proton in the middle with a nucleus. Neutron in the nucleus, and then the electron spinning around. The electron, the electricity is negative, is minus, and the proton is positive. So this is an atom. But if we have the consciousness only as a proton, we are going to meet with other protons and say, oh, hello, how are you doing? No, I'm positive. Are you a positive guy? Oh, perfect. Very good. Nice to meet you. Oh, look, it's an electron. Electron is the opposite. It's negative. I don't want to be with them. Take it out. Take it out. Take it out. And we remain in the consciousness of the proton. But if we are open enough and we integrate the electron, the negative energy, inside of our consciousness, we change our consciousness from proton only to an atom. Our new consciousness is an atom. We are with a proton and neutron inside, and with the electron, and so on. We can keep incorporating. This is example, very simple example, just to understand when we incorporate more frequency, although it is the opposite, we can keep growing and growing in consciousness level. So that is why I decided to stop thinking about good energy and bad energy, and I try on myself. And what happened to me after working on these 9 years of paying attention of my emotions, it was like this, more compact. I got more clarity in my mind, and the body had to change. There was something that the body say, well, we have to change also. We have to jump on a new level of consciousness also in the eating. That is why I share with you and Cristiane and everybody in the Pranic world that they would like to stop eating. I say, well, I suggest starting with emotions. And then, because in my case, I didn't know anything about prana, but I started working with emotions, and then the body upgrade itself without any pushing, without any power on that or effort on that, you know. So this is a brief explanation that I wanted to share with you tonight. And Cristiane, if you feel that you would like to ask a question or to share something from your side, I am happy just to share the time. And
Yes, thank you so much. I was listening to your discourse, and it's so true. Actually, throughout my life, I've had a very strange path. I am now 34, and I started working when I was 19, and I had about 10 very, very busy years of working as a manager and in the sales and events department, and very, I was a very stressed person. I also was married back then for 6 years. So it was life, even though I was very young, life was being so complicated. And at some point I noticed that my balance was almost completely lost. I could not get a grip on my emotions. I could not define them, and I had rage or anger, or I was upset without even knowing. I couldn't even put my finger on what's upsetting me. It was just too much stress. So at some point I had to learn to slow down and to look inside myself, because outside nobody was giving me any answer. I was literally losing my health in the process. I was spending days in hospitals without anybody giving me any answer about what's happening to my body and why is it shutting down. I was fainting all of a sudden. It was really weird, but it was just energy running through my body telling me that this is not the way to go. And it was like, if you're going to go on like this, we're going to shut your power off, like shutting down the light. And I had to join a meditation group and to start to work on the holistic aspects of myself, because I couldn't find any answer in the external world. So the only solution seemed to be to go inside and see what's happening there. So I started meditating, and I started using various light working techniques, working with the theta state, like letting go of the mind and going from beta to alpha and alpha to theta, for those of you who know the brain waves. And also I studied a lot with the Taoist emotional intelligence, the teachings of the Taoists, and how emotions are related to the internal organs, and the corresponding emotions that are actually having an impact on our internal organs, and I learned which emotions are, stuck in each one of our internal organs, so that I know how to go in that organ, if it's the liver or the kidneys or the lungs and so on, and literally unwind or transmute the emotion. Because as Gaston was sharing, the Taoists also say that there's no war between the negative and positive. They call it yin and yang, and they say this has to go together. The positive is actually supporting the negative and the other way around. Like in the external world, us women are supported by men and the men are supported by women. We couldn't go one without the other. We couldn't live in a world with just men or in a world with just women. The same in the emotional realm. The negative emotions, we call them negative, but they are actually just a different kind of energy. We have to call it different. We don't have to put a label on it just to say negative or positive. It's just different. Rage can be useful if you want to change something at some point, and then you transmute it into kindness, and you can bring light into the world. But you have to start from a more harsh attitude and then transmute it. It's a beautiful thing to witness. So I worked with these techniques and look inside and see and saw how can we can change each one of our state consciously, without denying it, without pushing it out. It's like I look and I see, oh, I am angry now. Where does this feel in my body? And if it feels in a certain area and I can go specifically in a certain group of cells, from there I am using that energy. Like you're using fuel for your car or for your fire. I'm using this energy to transmute it and work with it for my projects. It's not negative energy. It's just energy sitting there wanting to be put to work into something, and the rage or fear or whatever is just telling you that at some point there is some misunderstanding about life, or some misunderstanding about a situation that you're fearing or that you're rejecting or that just you don't go in harmony with. And once you changed that understanding or that perception, it's then very easy to transmute this energy, to use it like fuel. And how I work with this in my therapy is that I do healing sessions that are called soul healing. It's a technique that I literally put together with all the learning that I gathered along the years. Because for the last 8 years, I've been working with these techniques, with meditation, with the Taoist practices, with various ways of deprogramming and reprogramming the energy system and the cells and the cellular memory and so on. This technique that I called soul healing is literally going in the issue, in the situation, in whatever someone is presenting me. So if it's a relationship issue, or it's a school or work problem, or a family problem, or a health problem, whatever it is, we go and we see what emotions are hiding behind that situation. What created it? What is the message that that situation is bringing to us, in order to look inside of us and discover the emotions behind it? And behind the emotions, there's something else. This is Rabbit wanting to join the workshop. Yeah. Behind the emotions, there's something else. Behind the emotions, there's some conception or some program or some belief, at the mental level, which is like above the emotional level. There's a mental level that is generating some programs that are creating that emotions inside our body. Once we find that program, once we find that at the causal level, in the causality, it's very easy to change. You know, like I find in many people, I find the program, everybody needs love, okay? And I often find people that are hungry for love, or willing for love, or even looking for a partner, or looking for self-love, you know, for the ability to really love and accept themselves. But they have the program that I'm not worthy of love. And it's woven at a very, very deep subconscious and even cellular level, that they are not really aware of. You know, someone might say, well, but I love myself. I take good care of me. I take good care of my family. I love my partner and whatever. But at a deep, deep, deep level, there's this conception saying, I'm not worthy of love. And they can't receive it and manifest it fully into the world, because they have this little program, like in a computer, there's something written in a not harmonious way. Once we deprogram that, you know, and transmute it or transform it into a useful conception, into a useful program at the mental and cellular level, and also in all the timelines where a person could have manifested this program, because it may come from different timelines for different lifetimes, you know. We work on parallel lifetimes as well. Once we deprogram it and replace it with something useful, with something beneficial that can generate a different range of emotions inside the person's body, then his or her life changes completely. It's like rewriting a program in a computer, or doing a very, very deep, profound hypnosis healing, but it's not under hypnosis. We are both perfectly conscious. We are both perfectly aware of what's happening. It's just that we're in the alpha theta state where instant healing is happening. And it's beautiful to witness how much things can change from just transmuting a situation from something that is not beneficial, something that is not bringing us good results, into something that can be life-changing. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
And also what I feel to add about clearing the cellular memory, so the imprints that we have from several lifetimes, because the cells are containing, you know, memory imprints from various lifetimes. It's just not just this lifetime that we're memorizing into our physical body, it's previous lifetimes as well. The cellular level, memory can be easily cleaned with the theta reprogramming that I talked about, but also with music and mantras, for those of you who use mantras. And there are special types of music that are working on cellular memory now, like, for example, the reef frequencies, if you heard about them. The reef frequencies are special kinds of toning, special kinds of musical tones that, if put together, they work on a particular frequency, and they can literally not only heal the physical body, but also the cellular memory and the subconscious programs. And I'm working with them and recommending them to the ones that come to my therapy. And also I use a lot of salt baths, because they clean the energy body, and they also work at a very, very deep level on the emotional body, which is correlated with the water element and the second chakra as well. And so salt baths, crystals, and essential oils therapy. So using special essential oils for emotional clearance or for emotional integration. And that's some beautiful things to combine into this type of emotional rebalancing.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Cristiana. Thank you. Thank you. If someone has any question that would like to be answered from Cristiana or from my part, we are happy to answer. And I wanted to share also, if you are thinking any question, is that for those people that there is some people, they are open for all this emotional or this spiritual work. And I know also people that they don't want to listen to that. And they say, well, Gaston, I have this problem, but is there something normal? Some people get scared when we talk about different dimensions, or we talk about different frequencies, or we talk about different lifetimes. It's also to respect them. And if you are listening here, for sure you're open because you came here because of prana, But in our families, in our home, we have for sure people that they are not in the same topic as we are.
Mm-hmm.
And what I suggest to share with them is that when we get contracted, so this is very practical points. When we get contracted for any situation that it's happening with our partner or our mother, father, or kids, whatever, whoever it is, just that we are aware and we tell them, we share with them, at this moment, I get a contraction. It's here, I get a contraction here, and I get a contraction on the belly. We don't need to say, I am angry. We can say that, or we can say, I feel hurt. Because we used to say, you hurt me, you abandoned me, you are the cause of my pain. And this is not consciously enough. When we say, you are doing this, I am the victim, there is no possibility for inner change. So it is important that we listen these sentences inside and we translate. Like a Google translator, we translate and I say, I got it. It's something like it's pressing here. And we say, well, just hold on. I feel the pressure. I am taking responsibility of my pressure in my solar plexus. I need to breathe. And I need a couple of minutes to breathe and to integrate. And we don't need to put too much energy to change something. Just say, okay, you are here, you are present, welcome, welcome. And we breathe. Welcome. There is some reason that we don't even need to understand that our body is creating this physical sensation in our body. And when we start to breathe in, the things relax. You can try, you can experiment, and then I am happy that you can share with us, oh, it's happening to me, just stop, play, pause, and breathe. And I explain to people around you. Some people tell me, Gaston, what I should do, and he's shouting at me, or he's complaining, or whatever. I say, okay, just say, please, I need time for this. And when you ask for time without shooting back to someone, the people understand a lot of time. Not always. Some people get, you are giving me the guilt, or whoever, and he start to run his own problem or his own thing. But if we take responsibility and say, it's something here I would like to take care of, I need a couple of minutes just for me. If it is too much, you can go out of the room. You can go, it's like go into the bathroom, for example, because it's too much energy and we need to give time. I used to tell this example that I think is very funny, but it's very, very clear. It's like we would like to go to the bathroom, and you are holding and holding and holding and holding, and it's the moment that you say, "Excuse me, I need to go to the bathroom, I come back." You don't stay with the person, and then and you spoiled all you leave the other person wet. No, you don't do that. So it's the same with emotions. We need to take responsibility. We need to get the next level of control of our sphincter, our emotional sphincter, not explode it. It's important to explode, because otherwise we get ill. But if we are realizing that we are going from 0 to 10, and we are getting 6, 7, 8, beep, 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 just start to say, I'm getting too much, and I need to work on myself. And then you come back, and then you relax inside, you breathe, and you come back in 0 again. And you can keep talking, because if you have a message to share, it doesn't matter which kind of sentences you are going to say through your mouth, the other person are going to feel this contraction. Anyway, so you're going to say, and this is a vibration. And through this resonance, the people are going this contraction also. But if he's not aware at the moment, if you speak with a conscious person, he's going to know that he's contracted also, and he say, well, I'm getting also activated, triggered from what you are saying. But normally the people, they don't used to that. So they get triggered and they start shooting back. So we need to see all these things happening at the moment. And you can share this with your kids, with your family, with your friends. And you don't need to explain anything about spirituality or energy or vibrations. And everybody's going to understand, So I hope it is clear what I'm trying to say. Well, if there are any questions, happy to share also, and also Cristiana, I say Cristiana, it's Cristiana.
Yeah. It's also nice to see that there are simple ways to recalibrate emotionally with our families, or the ones who you cannot maybe talk openly about your ways, about spirituality, about stuff like that. There are subtle ways to work with that, subtle ways to recalibrate the energy between you. For example, what we recommend in our workshops, besides going inside ourselves and feel where the tension is felt in the body, and work on our own tension, on our own organs, to shift the energy there, we can also do something very simple. And I advise we can do it now together, as we are all here in this online space, but really we are very connected, even though we don't see each other. Just go inside your heart, and when for example, if you are triggered by someone, or you're having a harsh relationship with someone, or just you feel misunderstood in your family, or you just want better relationships in general, maybe the situation is good but it can be better, you just go inside your heart. You can exercise now. And going inside your heart, where you enter the room with that person, or even visualizing him from a distance, you can send out a ray of light from your heart to him or her. Or if you're in a room full of people, or if you're in a room with your family, just go inside your heart and imagine your heart like a beam, like a sun with beams of light, going out from it. And you send that beam of light towards that person, or towards the group. You send several beams of light, from your heart. And you do this programming. Light can be programmed. We are beings of light. We are able to send out light towards others. This is our ability since before we came here in this physical world. So we can send this ray of light towards the person in front of you, or the group in front of you, and program that light I ask that we connect divine self to divine self. I ask that we communicate divine self to divine self. I ask that we are compatible, divine self to divine self. Or if you want to just keep it simple, you just say divine self to divine self compatibility, communication, and sharing. So this recalibrates the energy between you and between us now to go beyond our social beliefs, our gender, our programming, our emotional patterns, whatever. It just goes directly to the self, directly at the soul level, because this is where I work from. This is why it's called soul healing. It goes directly to the soul level, and from there, we are all compatible. From there, we are all understanding each other, and from there, we can communicate easily. And the energy just shifts. We had this story of a family where the woman was feeling always misunderstood, always burdened because the husband and son were a little unconscious. They were not, very good communicators, so to speak. So they were always watching, football and making a mess and fighting with each other and fighting with her and so on. And she was so burdened by this. And at some point, she learned about this subtle technique of energy recalibration or emotional recalibration, just sending out a beam of love, a beam of light from her heart to them. And she did this one evening. And she noticed that this evening in particular, they were more quiet. And it just seemed like they were more aware of the space around them. And at some point in the morning, the son, children or adolescents are more receptive to this, came to her and kissed her on her cheek and said, "Mother, I think I never told you how much I appreciate you." It was after years and years of constant fighting and constant, it was just amazing. And you can exercise with this and see how it impacts you and your relationships and your emotions, because this goes beyond the emotional wounds that we might have. We all have them. I have them. I'm sure Gaston has them. And I'm pretty sure some of you listening still have some emotional wounds as well. And when we talk to each other, at some point, if we get unconscious, we can speak from these wounded place. Especially when we shoot back, we're not shooting back from a conscious level. We're shooting back from our wounds. We're just defending that space. We don't want to let it up. We don't want to let it, open. But this type of programming helps us all go beyond our wounds and even heal them. When you truly connect to someone from your divine self, from your soul to his soul or her soul, it's like perfect sharing. It's like so much harmony. It's like amazing things can happen on the spot. Like me and Gaston we were having this conversation the other week, and all of a sudden this idea came. We're both guided. We're both in our intuitive zone, and this idea came that we should do together some toning and light language. I do light language, so a language that is not from Earth, and he's doing toning. And we started recording this video together with this toning and light language, like an energy transmission for healing and recalibrating. That is now on my YouTube channel, and of course probably on his as well. And it was so spontaneous and beautiful and enlightening for the people who have listened to it. And it was just because we were connecting soul to soul. Because we don't know each other a long time. We don't know yet what we can do, or all our abilities and experience in this work field. But it's so beautiful to just connect and open and see what is the best you can get of yourself and the one in front of you, beyond the emotional wounds and triggers that we both have. And stay in that safe place of your soul that is whole, complete, and healed already. And from there, transmit and send out whatever it is that you want to share with the world. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you for
And
sharing.
also, I get this idea for those of you who don't want to do much energy work, maybe it's not yet your time to do intensive energy exercises or something. When you have this emotional burden, especially for women, don't shut down. Don't try to hide it out under a carpet, or try to act cool about it, or try to act strong about it. We were taught, especially men, but women as well, these last decades, we were taught to show off strong and to show off tough. And this is literally killing the emotional field. It's like it's suffocating it, not letting it out, because it has been this myth that men don't cry, women should get a hold of themselves. What's with this emotional outburst that we all have? And this has been blamed for decades, this emotional behavior. We are even since childhood, we are taught to not act in an emotional way. Parents might have said to you, "Oh, don't cry. You're gonna make, embarrass ourselves," or don't be a sissy," or stuff like that. That is imprinting you with the thought that showing the emotions is not accepted in this world. And what I'm suggesting is, one, don't shut down your emotion. Don't try to act cool, and talk to at least a best friend about what you're feeling. Verbalize what you're feeling. And if you don't have a best friend that you can trust to listen to you, just write them down on a sheet of paper. And if you believe there are angels, just write a letter to your angels or divine guides or someone you commune with, just to verbalize in some way, put it in words so that you get clarity about your emotional situation. And if you're working with light beings and you believe they are resistant, until you get into therapy with someone, you can contact me or Gaston or somebody you appreciate at home. Before that, you can also say a prayer to your divine guides or light being friends or whomever you believe in that is able to see this from a higher perspective. And the ones I've worked with along the way on emotional healing as spirit guides were Mother Mary, and the divine feminine in general is working with this because the emotional side is our feminine intuitive side as well. And there are two archangels who are helping with that as well. They are called Uriel and Gabriel. So those of you who are familiar with that, you can also use this method for emotional healing. I'm sharing all the tips here. You just pick one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And I would like to pick the topic about relationship when women and men, because today, 3-4 hours ago, I was meeting with someone that we are working together on developing an app on the feelings, and he asked me, how is a real man? It was a very interesting question. How is a real man, Gaston, for you? And what is a macho man? And all this stuff, He asked me, we are confused because the society tell a lot of things. And how is for you? So I would like to share this also because it's related in this supporting female energy and man energy in the relationship. All of us, we have female energy and male energy on the physical body as a man and on the physical body as a woman. So it is important to have both in balance, you know, men and women. And I think that what a woman wants is a clear man. And we men, we need clear women. And what means clear? Clear means that I am taking responsibility of my emotions. I am asking for time when I need to breathe or to integrate something in myself. And at the same time, I am giving you the possibility to express your feelings. It doesn't matter if you're not here at the moment. You know, when you say, well, I'm feeling this and that, and okay, I'm just giving you the inner space, this room that you can express yourself. I can understand you or not. It doesn't matter, but I am here, present in front of you, to feel you. And everything that you are feeling, you know, you can say to your partner as a woman or as a man, it doesn't matter. I'm open my system, I open my chest, my whole body, my whole system to feel it. And if everything that you feel triggers something in myself, I'm going to take care of myself. So if we are open enough and we train, this is a training, you know, it's like learning to ride a bike. We can go to a deeper level of a relationship. Had nothing to do to be naked or not. You can go very, very deep inside of the other person because you get in this depth from the vibration, from the soul of the person, and you open yourself. I think that a macho man is a man who is humble, is a man who can give space for a woman or for a person to express herself or himself. It is a person that, although has fear, pain, frustration, take the responsibility and share, not keep it from itself. It's not closed, it's open, and say, that is, at this moment I have fear. At this moment I feel frustrated. At this moment I feel sad. And this is the honest way that we can relate to each other. As much as transparent as we are, we get more depth in our relationships. It doesn't matter with whom. And you can check it. Although you don't know this person, in the second minute that you are talking, you are open with your emotions and you give this space to the other to express himself or herself. You are connected. And this is so beautiful. This is a sacred place. So I also recorded the video with fears, having fear. It is very interesting, this video, because you can feel my fear when I was talking. And I also wrote something from this, what is a macho man, you know? I don't know if I can find it now, but I can find it, try and put it here in the thing. But that is for me what is a macho man, or a person who is, no macho, sorry, a real man. How we can support each other, how we can support women. And also, because of all this under pressure that we men put women in the last 2,000 years, we need to be humble. We need to say, I'm sorry about it. And I am here just to be open. I am not here to resolve your problems. I'm not here to be your dad. I'm not here to complete all the things that you are missing. I am here that if something of these things appears, to be aware and to share with you and to be open and allow that you feel all these pains. I am still here. I'm not going to go away. It doesn't matter how angry you are, how much you shout at me because of your pain. I'm going to stay here and breathe with you and share. And we feel together the same things. Because all of us, if we are humble and clear enough, we share fears with other forms, with other pictures or films, but we share the same frequencies. So frequencies are what we are sharing and contracting or expanding together. And this is a relationship for me, you know. And I have a project that I already wrote it. It is like we need to do like a driving license, you know, to drive a car. I would like to develop a driving license to drive a relationship. Which are the points that we need to be aware. It's cool, huh? Which are to be aware on ourselves. And then we are going to check ourselves if we are ready to champion a relationship with clarity. So it's going to come somewhere when I have time for that. But it is something that I would like to share also. Thank you, Cristiana, for opening for this point also, because I think it's very important what you address to us, you know, to share the feminine and the masculine point of view, clarity, you know, and being together in this development.
Yes, this is amazing what you said, and I totally support it. You know, for years I've been working with people on relationships and relationship issues, and even we've created a class and the meditation that are called healing your relationship, communication, and creativity. So I have this class that is on video that can be utilized. But what you shared was amazing, and I totally support it. In terms of, I can share from my experience as a woman and as a therapist that is completely true. You know, I see hundreds of women that come to me deeply wounded, and men. So I'm not going to only refer to women now. Deeply wounded that because they are not held in their emotional aspect, you know, especially actually in the spiritual area. Because in the Hindu tradition and in the Tibetan tradition of spirituality, emotions are discarded, you know, as being non-spiritual. You're weak, you're not spiritual enough if you have emotions, and if you lean into them too much, you know, there's this concept that you have to transcend them, you know, and go beyond your emotional stuff. And even I have been in a relationship for 7 years. We were both spiritual workers. We were both on our spiritual development path. But whenever I expressed myself as an emotional woman and not so much as a goddess, I would be discarded, you know, like I'm not spiritual enough, like I'm not, you know, I'm not healed enough, you know, and that's because he was not yet accepting his emotional field as well, you know. He was not allowing himself to have emotions and to be met in his emotional aspect as well. So until we realized that, we had a very, very tough time, you know. And I myself as a woman, I felt shut down and, you know, and unaccepted and even blamed for my emotional manifestation, which was not really, you know, it was not really chaotic. I was not having, you know, outburst of anger or anything, because I was already working on myself. But the very concept of me being emotional was being discarded, and many people are acting like that. with themselves and with the partners that they have. And what I want to share from my therapies and experiences is that the emotional field and sexuality are very closely connected. And when you are not communing with your partner harmoniously at the emotional level, then the sexual aspect is closing down as well. And as a Tantra practitioner for more than 7 years, I can confirm that partners have to be, harmonized at all levels. You can't leave anything aside. And especially, you cannot leave aside the emotions and communication, because they are the two pillars of a relationship. The first two things that a relationship is building upon are the communication and sharing truth and sharing clarity between each other, and emotions shared with honesty, and from there you can evolve with your partner, because actually his emotions are maybe a feedback to what you're emanating, and usually your partner is your mirror. So when you feel something that he dislikes, or when he feels something that you would like to push aside or to reject, that is your mirror, your most accurate feedback of what's hiding inside of you. Unless you're already an enlightened being, or the greatest spiritual master on this planet, then you're the closest people, and especially your intimate partner is your mirror. And whatever it is that you're blaming or not accepting from him, it might be something in your emotional field that you are not integrating and accepting. And it's very important to look closer at what triggers you, and what you don't want to hear from him over. And that's the most important guide for you. The most important, roadmap for your healing. If you're committed and conscious enough as a couple. It's so beautiful to witness when people finally open up and speak out their emotions with truth and clarity and courage, because it takes courage to be vulnerable in this world. It really takes courage to be vulnerable. It takes more courage than to be tough. When you really open up and take courage to speak out your vulnerability, it is only then that you can develop and evolve as a couple, actually. And in your tantric partnership as well, if ever you're practicing that. This is what I felt called to add. And you can find this class on my on one of my websites, as well as I also created the video class for the Taoist emotional intelligence, where you can find direct guidance and step-by-step guidance to how you can locate your emotions in your body and how you can transmute them and actually build up the positive states inside of you, the kindness, the compassion, the calm, the creativity, the relaxation, the trust, how you can build them up inside of you and integrate the other emotions, the fear, the sadness, the anger, and everything. It's all in that class, and it's the expertise and experience of more than 5,000 years of Taoist masters that have shared that along the path, and that I learned from. It's also, I will place actually the link in the chat, because it's an important tool for those of you at home who are maybe needing this. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cristiana.
Thank you as well.
And we have a question here, and I think it's also related for the relationship. So Eric is asking question for Gaston. He wrote here, when you are feeling anger, what makes you able one day to look at your anger with a higher view and listening to what your body was telling you? And what can be brought to people who feel anger, for example, so they can start to see anger with a higher view, as you, Gaston? It's a great question. I can share the path I went. When I felt this anger in the body, the most difficult thing for me was take the responsibility and to see that there was nobody outside creating it and that I wasn't a victim. That was a very difficult point to reach. Once I reached this level and say, well, I am going to take the responsibility, I needed to have a yes, inner yes, to say, I leave the people outside, relax, and I'm going to jump inside of me. And just this switch of direction and jumping inside, it was very difficult, but it was the solution for me. I started to work on the right direction. It was in this direction. And when I was invited with a group of people just to feel my anger, it doesn't matter what it is. I didn't, because I have fear to destroy everything. If I allow my anger in my body, I want to do boom, boom, boom. And everybody say, well, don't worry, feel it, but you don't need to react. Just feel it. So I started, and we're going to show like this. I started to feel it in the body, and I was started to shaking. My body was like, and I started to get hot and red, and but with consciousness, I started to allow to feeling. I didn't want to avoid it, and I didn't want to speak it out. I could also, but it doesn't help me. The best thing for me was just feeling it, and breathing. Without any special technique, just breathing. And giving inner room, inner space. It took me a time, because when appeared the same film in my mind, this unconscious film that activated here in my mind, activated again. And it was fear, okay? And below the anger, later on, so your first question was what I do with my body. I try to locate it, where it is. And when I found it, the contraction or whatever it is in the belly, a feeling of fire or whatever, and the muscles. I allow to go in the muscles and press and do the okay. That is, I embodied it. And then what I realized is, after I gave my body the possibility to feel it a lot, I found a pain that I couldn't see before. And suddenly I realized that I had pain. And it's come itself. Nobody explained to me anything. Nobody said me, you have pain on this and that and that. I didn't came to the pain through thinking. I came to the pain because I was diving and diving and diving, and I went through this anger area and I was keeping diving down and down and down, deeper and deeper and deeper. And then and when I got the pain, I realized that my whole body contracted. The muscles were relaxed, but here the pain, it was like hurting, like something hurting my heart, getting like something metal inside, or like a knife, whatever it is. And when I started to feel it, I realized that it was pain because I felt it before. I start to breathe, and if it were, for example, like a knife, instead of trying to put the knife out, instead of trying to change the things, I allowed the knife go in, but with consciousness. And breathe in, and breathe in, and breathe in. And the knife goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And I open myself that go inside the knife till the end. And it hurt, and it took more part of my heart, my body. It was hurting and hurting. And then I started to do not only the metal part, the part when you take the knife was also inside and breathing. And when the knife dissolved in my heart, in my body, in my system, I incorporated and I integrated all this frequency. And then I was relaxed again. And I passed the film again, the person doing this for me, and reacted a little bit the body, but without no pain. And then I continue going deeper and deeper, what is below the pain. And I found a need. Something pop up. Wow, this feeling, it changed. It is changing. You can observe it is changing in your body. And then I found a need. All of us we have needs. It doesn't matter which one was for me. But when I realized this need in my body, it was very painful also. But at that moment, I realized that I was spending 40 years of my life, 30 years of my life, trying that someone else outside feed my need. Unconscious. I didn't realize that. And that's why I was hurt, because I didn't get enough of my need, and then I got angry. And this whole process was outside always. But when I feel my need, instead of trying to manipulate people, I used to do that, to manipulate unconsciously, manipulate in relationships, in whatever I was doing. He was trying to keep this love or whatever. I stopped everything outside and I felt it also in the body. It doesn't feel good. It was also painful. And I did the same thing with a knife, but in the need was a hole. It was a dark hole that I was falling in, and it was like, that was the body sensation in my body. This need was located in my body. But I accept to die in the hole, to fall in the hole till the end. I wanted to reach the end. And somewhen I reached some moment that disappeared. This need. And when this need disappeared, it was like more space, more inner space. And then I started to relate again with people from there, from this new place that I reached without this need. And it was very, very different. I keep meeting the same people, doing the same things, saying the same words, but I cannot react. My body is not, I cannot, my body doesn't react anymore. It understood this inner map, what was happening in myself. It was like we create a new GPS, an inner mapping to discover ourselves, to where we have to go. And with this map, with this knowledge, when someone came to me and it is shouting at me, or it's telling me, you are giving me this and this and this problem, I can understand. I don't feel this bad energy anymore at all, because I see, because my system understands now that this person is angry, and then I can see the pain that he has or she has, and then I can see the need. I cannot tell them because he's not going to see that, but I can be there and say, I understand you, why you are shouting me. because something hurts. It is okay. And suddenly the person say, how you know that? I can feel it. And when the person realized that, they say, yes, I feel hurt. You hurt me. Okay, you feel hurt, it's okay. And if it is a need and whatever, you have to work first on yourself, and then you can share from this part with people. You cannot repair people. You can just be there for them to go the whole way through themselves, and you don't jump out. And then they feel supported from you, you know? And then they say, perhaps there is a need. Would you like to check it? You invite the person with a very relaxed place in yourself to go these deep questions in himself or in herself. And then the person gets supported with you, hold it energetically with you, and can get to the point. And when they reach the point, then the person can take care of that. You know, we don't have to fix people. We don't have to teach people. I tried this. People were very angry, and I didn't explain any word of consciousness, of energy, of nothing. Just saying, I am here, and I feel clear, and I understand what's going on inside your system, inside of you. So it is okay. Keep going, keep feeling this. And the transformation is amazing and unbelievable. You know? So this is what I can share. You can do with people, you know? Not teaching. Teaching, nobody wants to be taught. I don't want to be taught. I don't want that someone came to me and say, you have to do this. I don't like it. But I like people that they are present for me and say, I'm here, Gaston, and I accept you as you are, in all your potential, in all your fears, in all your frustrations, in all the feelings you have. I am here for you. And if I feel triggered, I'm going to tell you, but I'm not going to escape, and I'm not going to fix you. And this is really love, unconditional love, that we can share with everybody, with a partner, with our daughter, kids, mother, father, whoever, family, you know, at work. So I hope, Eric, that you got a little bit insight on this question. If you have something that you would like to I keep explaining, I can do it for sure. So we have Florine also here. She wrote, thank you, Gaston and Cristiana, for sharing the authentic experience and transforming tools. Much love to you. Oh, thank you, Florine.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind thoughts. It's beautiful to witness. I hope this has been useful for all of you. And if you still have any questions or anything you would like to add or ask, those of you from the audience, we are still here open to your questions. In the meantime, yes, please.
Well, I would like to say also for everybody who wants to join us, I am going to offer a 7 days process in France in 10 days. I'm going to put also the link here. So if someone wants to join us, it's very welcome. So I'm going to put here the link on Facebook, where is the information, and or you can write me at info@detox3.org, you know, for more information. And I wanted also to share here, if you feel drawn and if you have the feeling that you got something for yourself, during this beautiful sharing with Cristiane? And would you like to support us to keep doing things, to keep sharing with people? We have a link, a PayPal, a Detox3 link. So you can send some contribution, and we are happy. We are going to share 50-50 with Cristiane. So I am happy to put this here and to share with you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Yes, the gifts we receive help us give more back to humanity. Our work is a lot of volunteering work, a lot of free work that we have on YouTube, on our blogs, on our websites, and so on. But also support is wonderful because it helps us do more with the resources that we receive. I have been volunteering this year, traveling to several festivals and gatherings around the world. I work as a portal opener, and I travel to whichever area on the globe where energy needs to be recalibrated, so working with planetary zones and so on. But all this takes a lot of love and unconditional, power, but also it takes resources, and it's so beneficial when people help us do more and go further with our work. What I like to also share is that at the beginning of November, so on the November 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I have the first class of soul healing in Italy. So this is where you can join me for more insights on this therapy that I practice. There will be a free conference on November 3rd, and then the class on November 4th on Saturday, and then private sessions on November 5th in Italy, in a beautiful energetic area close to the sea, but also on the Italian hills. So it's a beautiful angelic place where we'll be holding these sessions. You have the link somewhere in the chat box here, and you can also find it on the event area of my website, which is soulhealingacademy.com. And if you like to see us both, me and Gaston, we are having the Pranic Festival in Romania next summer in August 11 to 15. It's a beautiful gathering of many pranic healers, teachers, and spiritual scientists that join together to share their experiences in conferences and workshops. And people from all over the world are joining, and it's a beautiful mountain area in Romania that is charged with so much energy and prana. And I've watched fabulous things happening this year at the festival we had. So you find all this information at the events area. You check the events button on the soulhealingacademy.com website, and you have there all the classes, but especially these two events that are going to bring more of us together and share more of our experience. And the emotional intelligence class is also there. The ones with the one with the Taoist emotional intelligence. Yeah, you find everything there. Soul healing. I'm writing it in the chat box now.
Okay. I have here another question from Eric. Question for Gaston. What was the link between your emotional healing and your relation to food? Can you tell us more about it? Yes.
Perfect question.
Yes.
Perfect.
I never thought about the food. For me, it was like, I know that it sounds very strange, but for me it was the change happened. The last time that I ate, it was Sylvester 2013. And what I realized is the month before, I was just eating less and less, and my body, I had pain in my belly. I couldn't eat. And I was talking with friends and say, I don't know what's happening, but although I'm eating half of I was eating before, I need to lie down on the bed, and the digestion is very heavy. There is something wrong, I thought. And on 31st of December, I went out with friends to celebrate New Year, and I ate all kind of meat without vegetables, almost, and then I drank, and we were to party and to dance. And on the 1st of January, I couldn't eat anymore. It was something that I put something to take a breakfast after midday when I woke up, and my body said, "Stop it, please, no more." And I thought that I had to fasting. That is my thought. I thought that it was intoxicated. So I started to search information in the internet about different fasting process. I never fasted in my life. I heard about that, but my body said no fasting, no fasting. I didn't like anything. I didn't get drawn. And suddenly I found the documental film Living on Light, who all these people was explaining their own experience. And my body said, yes, this is it. You have changed the way you get the energy. Please, no more with solid. And I was very curious, and I started to listen everything, search for more videos. And on the 2nd of January, I bought the 21-day process from Jasmuhin. And when I was reading, Jasmuhin has a couple of questions and say, if you have a yes for all these questions, you are ready to do the 21-day process. So I read it, and everything was yes, 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 yes. Not only yes, I felt this happiness inside of me. I was so happy, and I couldn't stop it. And I started the process right away when I read the book, and I started with the 7 days dry, no eating and no drinking. But I didn't start the process thinking that I'm going to do 7 days on dry, because it was, I never heard that someone could do that. So I was just giving myself permission to be 24 hours dry, and then another 24 hours dry, and then 24 hours dry. And after the third, fourth day, that was the limit that I had in my mind, my body started to shake, and I felt fear, and I started to get a lot of strange, and it was like this. And then I realized that something told me inside, this is the moment that you have to surrender. And everything was from inside. And I say, okay, I was here at home in this bed here, alone. No, I didn't tell anybody that I was doing this process, because I didn't want to give fear to anybody. And the fear was because I wasn't drinking, with a glass of water here beside of me. And if I was thinking, if I die dry, the firemen are going to say he's stupid. He dry. He with a glass of water beside him. So I started like this, and then I decided myself to surrender. And in that moment, it was like, and it was something that inside, like a voice told me, it is a very personal experience. I'm not saying that everybody's going to do that, but I'm sharing it because you asked me. It's like, at this moment, we align all the bodies, physical body, mental body, energetically, body, physical, all of them. And then I have the feeling that I was just pushing through a glass, and suddenly it was like something changed in the awareness, and I think, oh, I am on the other side. I understand now. And since then, since this moment, I felt that I didn't need food anymore. And this is what happened. What I can say is that all of us, we can have our different process, and I'm not pushing anybody to stop eating, because I feel that if we stop eating, we hurt us. What I realize is that pay attention to your emotions, feel your body. Your body is going to tell you, yes, stop eating this, stop eating that, know this quantity, less quantity. And you are going to see suddenly just following your body without pressure. The people say, oh, you are a very strong man. You can hold this wish of eating. And I never hold anything. I never did effort. It was just paying attention what was his feeling. But I surrender. In the moment that the emotions activated, I surrendered. And then when I ask inside, why it happened this to me, the answer came and said, because you already cleared up all the other emotions, all the other bodies. That was my inner experience and my inner explanation, and makes sense for me. That is why I didn't. Last light during the day, you stop and let the light go inside of you and all these things. I'm not doing at all anything, but what I'm doing is just, when I wake up, just relax and feel the vibration, and I rise the vibration with consciousness. It's like I feel like the body makes. This is without sounds, but it's an inner emotion. It's an inner feeling. It's like, and I search for these things, and that is why I am also, as Cristiana, sharing for free these 33 minutes every Thursday, rising vibration, because something told me inside, you don't even need to talk, Gaston. Just keep your vibration high and share the vibration with the people. And everybody is going to go through their own path. There is not a recipe, but all of us, we are going to join in the higher frequency of the room. That's the new consciousness. So we need people that are sharing this, and we are going to be more and more. And that is why we join all together every Thursday at 9 p.m. German time for do this. I can put also a link here to the Rising Vibration webinar if you would like to join us. That is my experience. I never pay too much attention on how much I am eating or what I am eating or how much carbohydrates or proteins or I'm doing. I'm already 3 years, almost 4 years is going to be, and I'm doing every year check my blood and I check and my doctor says everything is on the green light. You are between the whole levels, so everything is correct. Nothing is outside. So something happened in the system that put everything aligned again, and I'm just listening, being humble and listening what our body has to tell us. And when there is a contraction, allow the contraction happen. Not trying to do things with your mind. That is my best idea that I can share with you, Eric. And I'm happy you wrote you are coming also to France. I'm happy to share more of these things in in the seminar in France, you know. And I would like we are going to close the whole thing, and perhaps if there is no more questions, perhaps we can do just a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, toning and your language,
Light language,
you know, light language, and yes, I think that it's a nice point to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we close, I feel to share one brief thing that I just remembered now. It's very important to express ourselves, and expressing ourselves in any form of art or self-expression of whatever, you know, if you write things down, or maybe do some toning in your bathroom, or maybe draw something, you don't have to be an expert on these things. Just to express them, to let them out, this is very good healing for the emotional body. And when I had my biggest, emotional shifts, I started painting again. And this was my first way of self-expressing. After that, I wrote 4 books, and I did many other things for, recording, guided meditation, and so on. But my first way of self-expression was painting, and it's so valuable for the emotional body because you work with colors and you work with your hands, and you. For example, I was seeing energy vortexes in meditation, and I was able to finally bring them down into this physical world with color and with using my hands, my fingers, and so on. And what I feel called is to show one of the paintings that is now unfolding. It's not ready yet. I just started to work of this, and more of this is found on the Soul Healing Art Facebook page. It's called Soul Healing Art because it literally healed me and many others who got in contact with this art, because it's energy imprinting, but also an expression of the emotional that can be brought out. Yeah, this is the last message that I got.
Thank you for sharing, Christiana. Thank you. And here, Eric, right? Big hugs for you both. Thank you,
Big
Eric.
hugs to you, Eric.
And Chef, thank you both so much. Very clarifying and valuable.
Hugs
We
to
are
you.
happy. We are happy for that. We are happy for that, and we are happy for sharing this link also with people. I got some people writing me, Gaston, I'm not going to be on the right time there, and said, don't worry, just write it in the platform, and then we are going to share the link, and the platform is going to send the link also. So if it is okay for you, we can share this 5 minutes, and if you would like to stay with us, you can stay with us. If you like to log off, it's also perfect. Yes, one of the person, because this is also for me new, just 3 weeks ago I started to do the tuning. It's just this feeling to start to share this. One person told me, Gaston, when you did it, and I feel in my body something started to resonate, and I had the impulse also to tone myself. So if you feel drawn to tone also, tone at home. It doesn't matter. So let's go together in this flow, okay? And just let enjoy and have fun. I'm going to leave these two things that we can share with Christiana, and I'm going to do it without. Let's see how it sounds. So 1 second.
So until Gaston comes, what I'm going to share is a light language. So it's a language that is not from Earth, as far as I know of. It's a language that comes to me during my workshops or during the portal openings that is meant to, literally create new energy paths on the planet. So it's not going to sound like something you've heard on the planet, but it might sound like something familiar to you, maybe from other, systems that we came from, planetary systems that we came from. And my experience with this, as I shared with some groups and some friends, is that people started crying or had shivers in the body or had, literally emotional release while they were hearing it. Or it might not happen anything in particular, but this is still working on your energy body, like in a subtle way as we speak. So just feel free to listen and, just relax. Don't try to understand mentally. Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to say thank you now for being here, because not after the toning, I'm going just to say like this and then go down and just to stay in the feeling that we can stay if we would like. So yes, thank you. If you have any question or anything we are available, you can join us or contact us, and we are happy to share with you. Christiane, would you like to say something?
Just big hugs to everyone, and further questions we can take on emails and on our Facebook pages and so on. Yeah. Kelaramon ken aramon ner alarare keren noralahar and again. Manoharemon tenenelaram dare de hakemenia. Omdalaraya emekeningam. Tolikerini mamum tar eraramum. Hareke em har. Kenenam dalalariam to ere mamum tetragara am dalarihe egenemum tekerarayam.
Andalere ar engederom var edgiem har elere enerom da eregera. Hanarea anderege alere eleregem da erianum elere haram elere genanum elere darereum esnara haregem eken ar erem or erigem ar erede hararam o.